In a couple of months, this area will probably be covered with snow. But it's hard to imagine as I walk here in the end of August. And even though it has been raining today, it's getting quite hot as I'm walking. And memory is weird like that. When the seasons change, you forget how it was half a year ago, or when the kids were small, you forget exactly how it was when they have grown and things have changed in your life. And it's not only like the seasons, also memories of pain fade away. When I was 10 years old, I broke my left arm, and after the cast was removed, I felt this lightness. I remember that I felt amazed, like my arm feels so light because it had been weighed down by the cast for a few weeks. So when that heaviness was removed, I felt the shift, I felt the lightness. But that feeling soon faded because of normality setting in. When I left my ex-husband, there was, of course, a lightness, but for the first year or so, I couldn't really trust it. I felt, because I lived under his oppression for so long, that I felt that he won't let me get away with this. He won't let me be free, and like he can come back and find us at any moment. And I couldn't really trust that we were safe and that I was allowed to be free and create a life of my own. But now, like probably when a year and a half had passed, I noticed a shift. So I think it was both that, like, you know, when you are grieving, they say that the first year is the worst because you have to go through all the seasons and the holidays and really feel that their absence to believe it. And I think it was sort of the same thing. Like I had to go through a year to process that he wasn't there anymore. But I think it was also like a shift in mindset about when little over a year had passed. I started to decide to trust more in myself and to like choose to live my life. And I had decided that I will never go back and I will never let him oppress me again. And I started to make more decisions on my own, like without consulting anyone, because I felt scared of making decisions on my own. So I asked my friends or my family what they thought. But around that time, I started to realize that, well, my own opinion is like holds at least as much weight as anyone else's, and this is my life, so I like have the first say, and before I ask anyone else, I should consult myself. So with little changes in mindset and behavior, and with me going on and living my own life and deciding what furniture I should have and what clothes to wear and things like that, I have created like a normality or an everyday life that he has no part in. But I can't, like the days where I lived with him and I was oppressed by him, it sort of start to feel a bit like a bad dream. Like, did that really happen? It's so, like, it's so weird. Like, some of the things that happened is so horrible. Like, it's worse than a horror movie. But those things really did happen, and I can't allow myself to forget it, firstly, because it had such a huge impact on my life. And secondly, like, because I lived it and because I suffered through it, I want to use it for, like, I want it to have some meaning and not just be something that I move away from and never think about again. But like, the main reason is actually because those days are not over. Even though I am not living in them, there are people who are going through this abuse right now. There are women who are, just as I was, like, serving, working for men that claim to love them, but who hurt them, to try to keep them weak and dependent. And there are children who are like also part of these circumstances and who are getting manipulated and abused by their parents. And of course, there are also men who are in these relationships. So I have to remember the things that happened and what I learned from them. And there are still things that I have to process. So get back to them and process what happened. So as I woke up today, I followed my kids to school. This is a school day, but I am off from work. And let's see. Can't remember if this was the path I walked on last time. It has been raining, so like the ditches are filled up. If you see, I think this was the path that I walked on last time. Yeah. If I don't find it over here, then that's the one I have to get over the ditch. So I woke up and I followed the kids to school, and then I went home and I had some breakfast, and then I packed my bag and I went for a hike. Even though the kitchen is messy. So I no longer walk around with that anxiety. Like, what if he comes home and he see that I didn't clean? And what if he gets angry? And I was constantly walking around with this heaviness in my chest and the feeling of like anxiety. It felt like there was always some drama or conflict, or he was unhappy. Things were never calm. Like, if they were calm, it was just temporary, like a temporary breath before a big plum. Let's see if I can get over. Let's see if you can get over. I mean, you're in the camera, so yeah, I think path was really nice, so I really want to get to the other side. Let's see. Perhaps here. Can go. Oh. Yes. Okay. I think we will make it. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's just like removing that cast, or like worse, it's like removing a tooth that had been aching for years. And like first just feeling the relief of it being gone, but then that feeling fades. Did I really walk here? I don't really know this forest yet, so like every trip is a bit of an adventure. Here's another. I don't think this was the path I took last time, but let's see where this one goes. I have a compass with me today, so last time I had a bit of it was a bit tricky to get home. So, okay. So I think you probably have these memories as well, like from some event that was really painful. But as you try to think back, like all you can really recall is the memory of the pain. Pain is something that, like, perhaps it is a blessing that you can't remember exactly how the pain felt. Like when I went into the hospital to give birth to my daughter, it was almost exactly a year and 9 months after my son was born. And like when the real labor started, I remembered like, oh no, this is how it felt like, and it was so painful. But before that, I had sort of forgotten exactly how much it hurt. And what I feel now, like as I'm thinking back of my long 21-year-long relationship with the man I called my husband, like that's all I really feel now is like relief not to be there. And like sometimes the things that still can hurt are actually some of his words, like because if I remember them, some of them still carry some sting, but that's it. So I will hike through the woods, and as I walk, you can enjoy the view, and I will, as I get home, read a bit from my journal in the old days. To really show the contrast, I want to take you back to that time. I'll read a few passages from my journal, words I wrote while I was still in it. November 2017. I've been feeling so low on energy and so sad the last couple of weeks. Now we have a cold again as well. I need to find my inner strength and motivation again. In the past, that used to be that my husband motivated me, seeing his love and approval. The last year has really pushed me out of balance and shook my world. First, he disappeared in November, and then he spent the whole summer in Ukraine, not calling. When he came back, he searched online for STD testing. And a few weeks ago, he was planning to buy a plane ticket for someone from the same country to our nation's capital. He just denies all these coincidences and has explanations for them all. But I know what I know, and I don't trust anymore. I feel that the last solid thing in my world has been shackled. I have and still am struggling to forgive, give a new chance and look past, for the sake of our children and our long history. But I feel a huge sorrow, and like my innocence and love was robbed from me. What's the point of struggling and fighting for our family when he will disappear again at any time? I feel like the strength I need to retrieve to manage the next 2 years, especially with the hospital internship and young children, needs to be taken from the flesh of my heart, and that there is almost nothing more I can give. For years and years, I have upheld our home, taken care of my mother-in-law while I was studying, then taking every night and day with our children the first years of their life. Still, I am doing all the daily chores, day after day, night after night. No rest, no undisturbed sleep. He promised me when he went away this summer that we would go away this month on vacation, the whole family. But now our money are running low and there is no more talk about it. I'm also struggling with thoughts of God, if he exists. If Christianity would be true since Islam is not. If there is no God, then what is the point of all this? Me forgiving, struggling? Who will take care of my mom? Then there is no hope for us. Life is just a long and disappointing pleasure search. Or I might as well commit myself to a psychiatric ward. I have become old. My face is no longer youthful. I have lines and fine wrinkles, and my cheeks are no longer plump. I need some motivation to keep pouring my lifeblood out for someone who betrays me. I feel stupid and tricked, and at other times I feel happy and taken care of. But in which of the two states am I in denial? Jesus said he is the truth and the light. Can I believe in him? Let his words guide me. Let him heal my heart and give me strength. April 2021. Is he depressed or personality disordered? Or is he a caring man in a difficult situation? I am struggling with mental fatigue and at the same time with a man who is not functioning. He doesn't work. He's barely spending any time with the kids. He doesn't come close to me. He is feeling worse and worse, and I can't change it. I am so frustrated over not having the energy to make any changes. My energy is barely enough to get through the days. Will things ever be different? God, when will the rain come? When will ease come? But at the same time, am I really missing anything? May 2021. Yesterday, on the way home after working at the psychiatric emergency ward, I started thinking about the children's books that I have been writing. Then I got a thought from nowhere, unexpected, that maybe I am the mother of Louise, the character. Then I started thinking of the baby I aborted, the 26th of September 2018. He or she would have been 2 years this month, maybe yesterday. I feel grief over that baby, that I couldn't manage to be his or her mother, over the fact that I felt forced to choose to give up my baby because I had no time, no energy, or safety. Grief over being forced to be so hard and strong, over feeling so alone. I don't want to be the person who's always holding everything together, who never shows weakness, who never asks for help. Mom, dad, my sister, my husband, my little baby. So much to grieve, but never any time. January 2023. Today we argued in the morning again. I didn't create it. Our daughter became upset because our son and my husband played iPad when she slept yesterday. My husband became upset and angry. He blamed our son and blamed me. Then he lifted our daughter up in her head. When he told me in front of our son that this is all because of your mother arguing, that the children are misbehaving. I told him it's enough and that I think he should go out for a while. He was already about to leave to go for a walk. Then I didn't say goodbye. He's having a very hard time handling the children. He can't put boundaries. It's very stressful to be around him. I see that our son acts out when he sees our daughter getting anything she wants that way. God, I ask for your grace and guidance over our family. I don't know how to handle this situation. I have really struggled to work on and improve things to the best of my ability. I can't do anything more to make things easier for my husband. I need to take care of myself as well to not break. I need self-care to have the ability to care for others. I can't abandon myself to support someone else. Then I won't be able to keep myself together either. I can give him space to work with himself, but that is his work. It's not my job to change things because he can't handle them. God, I am begging you, please guide my husband. You are the one who gives insight and who turns hearts. I'm begging for your safety and your peace over my home, your safety and your peace in my heart, your guidance over my words and thoughts, your comfort in my grief, your grace over my shortcomings, and your power in my actions. Between the years of 2017 and 2023, I journaled a lot. These are the journals that I still have, and they are so heavy that it's hard to lift them even with two hands. There was one other journal, but I threw it away during 2020 after we had a large fight, and it was actually a period when I left my husband for a few weeks. And that journal was so full of triggering events and like abuse and a lot of frustration and hurt. That I threw it away when I decided to give the relationship another chance, because I thought that perhaps my writing in that one book had become so negative that that was the cause of the breakdown. So I thought that I need to stay positive, like focus on what I can control instead of like rehashing the abuse and the betrayals and all the hurt, because I need to move past that. So I threw one book away. And what I read to you was just like a few days during all those years. And I sometimes go through my journals, open them up and read a section. Sometimes it has been actually to remind myself, of course, of how it was to live through that period. But it has also been like to check some facts. Like when I've had insights, in hindsight, I realized that, well, that period was a good one, but actually like that happened just before he tricked me into doing that. Or so looking back through the journals has helped me to identify more and more of the manipulative patterns. What I reflect on when it comes to my reflection after this short reading for you is that I went through a lot of hurt and betrayal and abuse, like verbal, financial, and in the end, or at a few moments, even physical. And all the while, like becoming a young mother, trying to work, trying to keep everything together, and even like during the pandemic, still working 100% as a doctor, like moving through different wards, and there was so much happening, and my father got a serious illness, so there was so much on my shoulders and so much that I had to deal with. And yet when I write about it, it's like just every day, like it's just a normal thing. Oh, my husband betrayed me, and then he did this, and he abused me. And it's like in my writing, I have become numb or normalized to what was going on. And I'm struggling with making sense of it, like understanding what is happening, why is he acting like this? And also there is a huge struggle for meaning, like if there's no meaning behind this, then why should I even fight? Like, why should I even continue to struggle? Perhaps I should just give up. And like as you heard at one point, like during the worst parts, I say, but it was the worst part for me mentally, like the first, because later I built some defenses, but 2017 and 18, I was really, really struggling. It was a daily thing. Like sometimes I would not even want to go home. Like when I started to work 2018, I would come home after work and I had to like brace myself before opening the front door. So I would, like sometimes I would walk from the tram stop through a little forest, like a little section of forest. And sometimes like I couldn't force myself to go home. So I would just stand there and struggle with very severe anxiety, actually, at the thought of going back home. But struggling to make meaning and struggling to carry on and struggling to do my best and to try to work on myself and change the things I could. And I was hoping that, like this crisis, as I saw it, that it would end. But in the end, like it didn't end, but all my journaling and all that struggle, it helped me to see through, to understand what was going on and to break free and to be able to be a cycle breaker and take the tough decisions that I've had to take to protect myself, my sanity, my children, from people who want to hurt me, but call it love or destiny. Looking back now, I see how far I've come. And if you are still in it, or just beginning to walk out, I want you to know there is a lighter life waiting for you. Just like we managed to cross that ditch at the start of this walk, there is a way forward, even if you can't yet see it clearly. This is for anyone who is still in it and are afraid they will never get out. This is for anyone who has left but are afraid if they will be able to keep going. This is for anyone who cannot just trust their own freedom. I thought that I would never break free. I thought that I would continue to suffer in this so-called marriage until one of us passed. Freedom is possible, and even though the path seems dark and it's hard to see the next, how will I manage, because they are doing so many things to tie you down and to make you feel stuck in the relationship. Even though all of that is true, just keep moving forward. Take the next step, even if that step is just to understand a bit more of where you're at right now and to do something for yourself that is a secret. Taking some moments to yourself and not do what they want you to do. You are not alone. There are many of us. There are many of us still stuck in these relationships, and there are many of us who have broken free. I'm Emma. I'm holding up one light over the bridge. But my hope is that there will be many, many lights over the bridge of survivors sharing how they did, how they broke free, so that you can get the strength and the insight and the support to do the same. Keep going. You are stronger than you think. And there is a future where you are free. And just like when I got that cast off, I felt so light. Or just as I left my ex-husband, I felt the weight of the oppression leave me, even though I couldn't trust it in the beginning. I am walking here now in the forest, and I am free. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend that you take a look at this video that is about the hidden signals that the narcissist sends to you in the relationship to make you feel that you are stuck and that you can never leave. Okay, thank you for joining me today. See you in the next video.